Hi everyone, welcome to another Terry Talk. It's been about a week now since the big Rogers shutdown. What do you call it? Many of us were impacted by that, yours truly included. And this was an epic event, unprecedented, really. I guess we saw it a few years ago, but not to the scale that we saw it about a week ago. We get it. Stuff happens, mistakes happen, major inconvenience. We know that. But here's the rub. Rogers has yet, at least of this at the time of this recording, has yet to fully explain what caused the outage, and our friends over at the CRTC are not too happy about that. Essentially, an event like that really shatters trust, and if Rogers wants to rebuild that trust, they better start over communicating. Yes, we've had a couple of notes, those of you who are Rogers customers from the CEO, but again, still left wondering why. Which brings us to today's topic, which is really all about trust. Interestingly, like if you look at the Edelman Trust Index, this is a yearly index that comes out. They survey people all over the world. What's fascinating for Canada in particular is in this year's Trust Index, our employers are, in fact, our most trusted and most credible source, sitting at 76% trusted, which is amazing. That's fantastic. But the danger here is that we rest on our laurels. What we do know about organizations where there is high levels of trust, they really outperform those organizations that have lower levels of trust. It just makes intuitive sense, and the data bears that out. 80% of leaders that have been surveyed see that trust fosters innovation and investment, creativity, etc. So trust is a great thing. And from the Edelman Trust Index, looks like we've got it. But here's the rub. Don't take trust for granted. If you really want to have an impact, if you really want to bring your employees along, we go back to a survey that came out several years ago by the group called Interaction Associates, and they came up with 5 leadership actions to build trust. Here they are. The first one was asking employees for their input into decisions, especially those that impact them. Huge builder of trust, like 37%. Asking for some background on the information and sharing that information with employees so that employees understand the decisions goes back to what we've talked about on this channel lots of times, around get back to why. Critical piece. The other thing that leaders can do to help build trust among their employees and in their organizations, set employees up for success, give them the right learning resources. And with a recession coming, and it sure feels like it, doesn't it? This one has me worried because that's the first place people cut. And when you do that, you take away trust. Let's not do that. The fourth thing is admit your mistakes. Now, full disclosure, Rogers admitted they made a mistake. They haven't told us what it was, but at least they've done that much. Admitting your mistakes helps build up trust. And the fifth thing that they came up with was not punishing people when they raise issues. When people bring up concerns, that they don't get shot down, they're listened to. Absolutely huge. Other things as well to consider, confronting reality, walking your talk, talking straight, telling the truth, not putting spin on things. Just trusting your team and giving credit where credit is due, getting feedback, receiving well, these kinds of things. So I think in Canada, with the exception of potentially Rogers, that just lost a bunch of trust among its customers, I would think, based on last week, we have trust in our employers, and that's a great thing. But let's continue to build on that. This is the bedrock on which we can continue to make really successful organizations, great places to work, transforming work, desuckifying your workplace. So let's get all over that, and love to hear from you. Let us know your comments down below, and we'll see you again soon.